All right, let's bring in our expert panel, Matthew Whiz Buckley, a retired Navy fighter pilot and Top Gun graduate, and Stefano Rittendale, a former military intelligence officer and chief intelligence officer for Atorius. Matthew, I'm going to start with you. Let me get your general assessment after 1 week of this conflict. You heard what the president said in terms of the results that we've seen so far. So what do you think have been maybe the most important strategic moves by both the U.S. and the Israeli Defense Forces?
Well, good evening, Laura. Thanks for having me. It's clear that we've met and exceeded the president's objectives that he laid out at the get-go to degrade or destroy the Iranians' ability to produce and export a nuclear weapon, and also degrade and destroy their military, in addition to their naval power as well. So we own the skies, we own the surface, and as we saw a couple days ago, we also own the subsurface. What worries me now, Laura, is actually a little bit of a battle of Britain. Since we have air dominance, air superiority, there's a lot of airplanes, a lot of hardware in that sky. And as we saw earlier in the week, we saw a Kuwaiti F-18 accidentally shoot down 3 U.S. Air Force F-15E Strike Eagles. So I believe we're ahead of schedule. I know General Kane, known General Kane for for almost 2 decades, and the man is serious. We can sustain this fight, and we're not going to quit. As the president said the other day, we got him on the ropes, and he's looking for an unconditional surrender.
That's right. All right, Stefano, we saw the Iranian president seeming to apologize to neighboring countries, while at the same time, the UAE, Qatar, and Bahrain were still intercepting drones and missiles. So what do you make of that? What's going on there?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me. And I think what you're highlighting is this complete breakdown in the command and control within the Iranian government that probably is due to both U.S. and Israeli strikes across the country and targeting the leadership. We did see that statement from the president, and obviously the IRGC, specifically their aerospace forces, immediately launched attacks. But more importantly, we also saw elements of the Iranian state media widely condemn the president's statement, and elements of the hardline government also condemn it. And we're seeing a dual-track approach from the Iranian president, the foreign minister, trying to take a softer approach, try to see if there's opportunities, specifically with the Gulf countries, to amend this. But the Iranian military and the IRGC specifically has taken a very hardline approach, and even today has threatened Azerbaijan for their supposed support to Israel. So clearly, I think there's a breakdown within the government, and the IRGC is trying to take a hardline approach and prevent any attempt for either negotiation or off-ramp for the government.
Now, Matthew, there was a lot of speculation this week about munitions. Here's what the White House press secretary and Secretary of War had to say on that issue.
We have more than enough ammunitions, weapons, stockpiles to achieve the objectives of Operation Epic Fury and beyond.
We've got no shortage of munitions. Our munitions are full up, and our will is ironclad, which means our timeline is ours and ours alone to control. As long as it takes to ensure the United States of America achieves these objectives.
Now, we saw defense contractors at the White House promising to quadruple production of some weapons. So how do you contrast the state of our military right now under this president, maybe versus the previous administration?
Well, Laura, a couple things. It's almost like some folks in mainstream media and maybe even some Democrats are almost rooting against the United States, pointing out our weapon stockpiles are low and just pointing out how everything's potentially going wrong. Laura, last time I checked, missiles just don't sprout out of the ground in Iran and get airborne. They need launchers. Right. So the Israeli Air Force, the United States Air Force, and the Navy and the Marine Corps are systematically destroying the launchers. And last time I also checked, Laura, you also need some dudes. You need some guys, some operators to launch these missiles. So it doesn't matter how big their stockpiles are. First of all, they have to be stored somewhere, and we're accurately targeting the weapon where all these are stored. But we're taking out the launchers and the operators. So it doesn't matter how many missiles they have. We can outlast them. We have great defense companies, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, all these other companies that are going to ramp up production. General Kane nailed it. We can sustain this fight. And the key word he said, Laura, was scale. We can scale this fight.
Yeah, like you say, we needed some dudes. We got some dudes and we got some ladies. We know that military recruitment has gone up since President Trump took office. Stefano, Iran has warned the European countries that they will be legitimate targets if they decide to join this fight. And so far, the president's been pretty disappointed by some of our allies, especially like the UK. He put out this Truth Social today saying, we no longer need their aircraft carriers. So give me your take on how you think our allies have responded here.
Clearly, I think from the European perspective, they're taking an arm's length away from this, and a lot of their deployments right now are focused for the defense of Cyprus. But from an offensive military capability, I think it's important to highlight that the United States and Israel single-handedly can deal with the Iranian problem set. And we've seen a very in-depth integration between both military capabilities to really conduct strikes against Iran very successfully, and as we've highlighted, ahead of schedule. And I think one of the key aspects is a critical decision that actually happened during the first Trump administration, I think was very important for this operation to be so successful, was Israel was moved from U.S. European Command to U.S. Central Command, and in January 2021. That decision gave 5 years for the U.S. Central Command to basically be able to plan operations with Israel bilaterally, extensively. And now I think during this operation, when the Gore order was given, we've seen the U.S. and Israel act in a way that really shows the strength of our militaries and the cooperation we have, which generally we would see either with the UK or Canada, and U.S. and Israeli cooperation is very at a high level and showing right now in Iran.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Matthew, we did see the dignified transfer of the 6 fallen service members who have been killed in Kuwait. I wonder what your message would be to the men and women in the fighter jets, on the aircraft carriers, and on our bases overseas right now.
We're with you. The American people are with you. Laura, my first deployment was on board the Abraham Lincoln when you were showing those shots. I've shot off of those catapults in my F-18. My oldest son, Matthew, is in the United States Air Force. He's going to be deploying soon. So as a military parent, my heart just goes out to these folks and to the wounded. We've had some significant injuries as well, Laura. I saw a video of one of the F-15 guys in the back of an SUV in Kuwait, and his hand was pretty messed up. And these drones and these missiles that they're launching, Laura, all these impacts create traumatic brain injuries as well. So our foundation, the No Fallen Heroes Foundation, is here to help these families and these heroes when they return home.
Amen to that. We're appreciative of their service to this country, and we are with them. So, Stefano and Matthew, thank you both so much.
Thank you, Laura.
All right, still ahead, the death of Iran's supreme leader leaves a vacancy his supporters are eager to fill. But what is the next best step for the people of Iran? Iran's Democratic opposition leader, Prince Reza Pahlavi, shares his vision when My View returns.